Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Sunborg, and this screencast we're gonna take a look at the weather and climate, specifically in Bethel and Kubrick. So we'll be looking at and comparing the data that I found this past week with all of the station data, satellite images, and charts that we provided. So we're going to take a look specifically during February 1st through the 10th and March 15th through the 24th. So as for the location of Bethel and Kubrick, Bethel, do I have a mouse? Maybe not. I guess not. Anyways, Bethel is located down here. It is in the west central region, and Kubrick is located in the Arctic region. So it's that top star up here, and then Bethel's this bottom star a little bit to the left. So it's in the west central. Bethel has a maritime climate. It has seasonal distribution of sea ice. And the average wind speed is 11 miles per hour, and with prevailing winds to the northeast. In Kubrick, winds are stronger and therefore makes it more difficult to measure precipitation. It has prevailing winds from the east, and the average wind speed there is about 12 miles per hour. So they, just like us in Kubrick, have some points like us have constant daylight and in the summer and constant darkness in the winter. So we'll go ahead and take a look here at February 1st. And in my data analysis, it shows that February 1st in Bethel, the temperatures were somewhat higher than normal. February 1st, there is high pressure systems, as you can see here, that are influencing Kubrick. And the winds are southerly in February 1st in Bethel. So in Kubrick, the winds are also southerly. And we'll go ahead and take a look at February 8th here. So February 8th, the average temperature from my analysis shows that the temperatures were much higher than normal in Bethel, and Kubrick, the temperatures were typical on February 1st. Sorry. February 8th in Kubrick, temperatures were much higher than normal. And then February 8th, so there were low pressure systems, as we can see at the top here, that were influencing Kubrick. And as for the winds are southerly for Bethel, and for Kubrick, the winds are southwesterly. Let's take a look here. We're going to move to March. So March 18th in Bethel, the temperatures are typical. And in Bethel, and in Kubrick, the temperatures are much higher than normal. As for, let's see. Oh, as we can see here, so you can tell that there is a weak pressure system influencing both sites. Bethel and Kuprik. And the winds are strong at both sites as well. We'll go ahead into March 22nd. And March 22nd, the temperatures are somewhat lower than normal for Bethel. And for Kuprik, the temps are somewhat higher than normal. So let's take a look. So in Bethel on March 22nd, the change in relative humidity and humidity reflects the diagonal circle. And you can take a look and see here that there is low pressure systems influencing Bethel on March 22nd. And there is high pressure systems influencing Kuprik. So we'll take a look at the winds here, and for Kuprik, the winds are southeasterly, as well as Bethel. They are also southeasterly. So let's see. Oops. Not what I wanted. These satellite images here, we can see that the 18th, there are thin clouds with moderate humidity, and the 22nd, there are thick clouds with high humidity. So we're going to go back to February here. So in Bethel, the temperatures reflect the influence of cloudy humidity and cloudy humid weather, and also in Bethel, the climate average temps reflect the influence of a mixture of cloudy, humid, and clear, dry weather. If we're looking at Kuprik, the average temperatures reflect the influence of cloudy, humid weather from the south, and the climate average temps reflect the influence of clear, dry weather from the north. If we're going to go and talk about jet streams, I would say, so the jet stream was being pushed down from the south, so it wasn't as cold as from the north, so that's why it was warmer. But for it to change, it would need to go to the polar front where the winds are pushing down from the Arctic. Sorry, it was being pushed up from the south, and so that would need to change by pushing down from the Arctic. So then that would be making it colder. All of this being said, to answer the last question, I think that Kuprik is more sensitive to climate change. And that is all I have. I look forward to hearing your guys' responses to the questions and what you have to say. I hope you enjoyed my screencast. Thanks for watching.